morning, good afternoon, happy time zone. Welcome or welcome back, depending on if this is your first time here. Yeah, we got a new project today. Something brand new. Something I've not painted before. I'm going to be painting some Deadpool. So the model itself was a gift from a friend. So I don't know where you can get one for yourself if you want. Yeah, I love Deadpool as a character. I wanted to give him a go. So let's go. Basically, let's go. Yeah, this is going to be a multi-stream kind of a project. It's not going to be one that's done overnight. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's not the most like flawless model. You can see layers from the 3D printing, but it's better than no Deadpool model, right? So I wanted to have some fun with this. I wanted to try something completely different. Never done comic book style painting before. The texture on the model itself is going to be a little bit of a challenge, because it'll mean things like inks and contrast paints are kind of out of the question. So there'll be a lot of layering techniques to try and sort of camouflage it and work with it to get the best results. But first things first, I'm just getting some of that Deadpool red on, otherwise known as Mephiston red. I'm going to mainly focus on the head today, just to kind of kick things off. And then sort of work my way down from there. But the model itself is based off of the comic book version of Deadpool's rather than the film. So yeah, I was pretty happy with this, because I actually read the comics before I saw the film. And I love Deadpool as a character. I love the super flawed hero but not a role model kind of stories. You know, the guys who do the right thing, but they might not do it for the right reasons. Or just even, they might do it for the right reasons, but the methods are super flawed. That kind of a thing. I don't know, flaws and mistakes make heroes interesting. Looking at you, Superman. And I also kind of like that he's very pointed at various things that don't make sense in the world, whether it's, you know, specific choices by Marvel executives, or whether it's just real world terrible things. Like the fourth wall does not exist to Deadpool. I love that. He's always got a point. The true agent of chaos we all need occasionally. That's how I see him, anyway. And again, he's not a role model. He's not to be emulated, but he's not all bad either. Anyway, on to the painting. Like I said, I started off. So the plastic itself is this wonderful bright green colour. So what I did was just take it and I spray painted it black as a starting point. The spray paint kind of takes a little while to dry, so I didn't bother showing you all on stream because it's really not that complicated. Well, that interesting to watch. But yeah, that's the only thing I did to this off screen. Everything else I'm doing to it you will see either in this stream or future streams of this model. But I'm hoping I can kind of play about with cell shading a little bit in this. I don't know how possible that's going to be. But I've never attempted cell shading in a painting project before. So that'll be fun. But just as a sort of point of logistics, I guess. If you're looking for the painting stream next week, it's not going to be there. I'm taking a week off. This VOD will be up on YouTube, but if you're looking for the stream live, it will be back in a week's time. Because I'm a little burnt out, I think. I think I just need a bit of space. So one of the tricks of this is to kind of work with the lines to get the nice solid colour that we need. So that's what I'm trying to do here, just get a really nice, solid, bright red sorted out. And then I'll move on. And the main challenge with having such defined print lines is making sure that you still get that good, consistent colour going. It's very easy to almost accidentally dry brush over the top of them. And that leaves you with a kind of faded, patchy kind of a look. Which is not a great look. Especially when you're going for comic book style, bright pops of colour. Really solid, saturated looks. I think you can probably see it a bit clearly under the chin there. I don't see a mouth on that, Merc. Welcome in, super. Oh, he's got a mouth on him. You just try and shut him up. But I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good weekend. Yeah, just currently just doing a little bit of work on the head, and then I'll sort of work my way down the body. Just working on a thing? Nice. What sort of picture are you working on, if you don't mind me asking? So, I know I've already spray painted this area black, but I'm doing a layer of black anyway. Just to kind of get the right shade going, tidy up any overspill from the red. I'll probably come back and do this a couple of times because there'll be a couple of layers of red, but it's always easier to tidy up as you go along, right? No matter what you're doing. There's black paint, but then there's black paint. Yes, exactly. The spray primer is great. The one that I've got, that I've used on this model, but it's a slight grey tone to it, which is fine when it's going under colours, but when the colour you're actually looking for is black, you do tend to need to paint over it with another shade just to get the right colours. But that's fine. Painting is what I'm here to do today. It gives me some time to think about something other than my current fixation of Baldur's Gate 3. And it means I can catch up with everyone. So yeah, just painting in this area here, and it's probably not very visible on stream because it's a very subtle difference. But when you see these models in person, you can kind of tell when someone hasn't bothered to paint over the primer. Okay. You can probably see on stream that I'm going for the very bright saturated look, kind of like classic Deadpool comics. And outside is red is a pain in the butt to get out of paintbrushes. So rinsing my brushes takes a little bit longer than usual. Okay. More red. And I think a different brush as well. Have I got one? I do. Going for a slightly smaller brush than I did the first layer on. And I'm trying to work in those layers. Those comic book style shading colours. Again, I can't use inks on this because of the texture from the 3D print. So I'm having to do this all via layer paints, which is a cool challenge that I hadn't anticipated doing yet, but we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I've read quite a few of the comics, and again, one of the things I love about Deadpool is the sort of, I don't know, I'm a big sucker for the reluctant hero trope. And whereas Deadpool's not exactly a reluctant hero, he's, you know, he's the hero that's also kind of the bad guy, right? You know, his methods are not heroic. And I don't know, I just find it fascinating. I find that whole doing the right thing for the wrong reasons, or wanting to be a hero but on your own terms, the sort of alternative view of valor, I guess, in a way. Right? Hey Andy, welcome in. Are you going for the cell shaded look? I'm gonna try. We'll see. Anti-hero, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. And yeah, Deadpool definitely showed up with a sledgehammer. As in, someone my partner works with got a new 3D printer. My partner just showed up with him one day after work. Was just like, here you go. I'm like, what? I'm like, well, you like Deadpool, right? Take this. However, I found Act 2. I ended up having to repeat the start of Act 2. So I got to the point where Redacted gets how am I going to phrase this? Basically, I got to Isabel's scene and realized that I'd missed so much and had to backtrack right the way back to where you enter that region, because I'd missed all the side quests, like every single one of them. But attempt number 2 was a lot better. Oh, jeez. I'm not used to how angular the base is. Luckily, this is a pretty sturdy model. Yes. But always with the sledgehammer. But yeah, Indy, I had to say no to Karlak, and that broke my heart. Because me, the person, I really wanted to say yes, but I knew that my character wouldn't, so I had to go the true RP with the true RP route, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart, honestly, because with so many, like, basically all the companions at this point, I know enough of their backstory where I'm like, you deserve someone sweet and wholesome and good for you. Do not romance this character that I am playing. This character is not sweet, is not wholesome, and is not good for you. They are a problem. You're a registered trademark problem, which is why Astarion is the only one who really deserves my character, because they have the exact same background, and everyone else is just, I'm just sat there like, no, you deserve someone good. My badness level on this character is too high. So when I do my the playthrough where I make the choices for me, as in what I want to do, that's gonna be a problem as well. there's going to be a lot of interesting choices that lead different places. Oh, honey, you cannot fix them. I know. I'm basically I'm playing a charlatan. Yeah, I am paying someone who is only out for themselves, and I'm just sat there like, Karlach, no, you sweet baby, you do not deserve this character. This character will break your heart. You deserve someone good. Please find someone better for you. Because you deserve the absolute damn world, you precious cinnamon bun of an amazing character. Like, I know Karlach's a barbarian, but I just want to wrap her up in hugs and protect her. But my character is terrible. They are legitimately bad. They're good at what they do, but they are not a morally good person. So yeah, I had to say no and it broke my heart. Most of your playthroughs have Astarion sitting on the bench. Astarion has basically been with my character the entire playthrough. Mainly because I like rogues. Rogues are fun and they're great damage dealers. So it was helpful to have someone watching my character's back while they were at the back of the group. And then, like, when I learned a bit more about the characters themselves and, like, started getting into the RP side of it more, I guess, it became very apparent that my character and Astarion were basically perfect. It was just like, if I had custom made a character to explore Astarion's storyline, I probably couldn't have made a better character. I didn't. I just went for something that was the complete opposite of what I normally play in D&D, but that I'd always kind of wanted to play. And yeah, it turns out that suits Astarion pretty well. So yeah, I'm going down that route this time. Karlach is a big sucker sister. Yeah, she's great. Me, the human being, adores Karlach. She's got that huge sort of golden retriever style, exuberant, playful love kind of vibes going on. You know, she's happy to be here. She's happy to see the world. And she doesn't care, like, who knows about it. She doesn't let anyone mess with anyone she cares about, but she doesn't care that people see her being happy as well, if that makes sense. It's lovely. It's really it's genuinely refreshing to see. My character that I'm currently playing is not the right one for her. Because as someone who has played Dungeons and Dragons for 20 years, I have to stick to the character that I created. And the character I created is not nice. Guys, Jinxie and Tiefling form. Oh, neat. Thank you. You don't plan on playing it, but I love hearing about Baldur's Gate. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Is the kindest way of putting it. You just got Karlach? Welcome, Princess. I adore Karlach. My character is not the one for her. She deserves so much better than my character. That's the thing, me the human being is not the same as what my character in Baldur's Gate is. But I'm leaning on my Dungeons & Dragons experience and going, right, I have chosen this background. I have chosen this kind of character, and I am making these kinds of choices. Whatever me the human being would do in this situation is not necessarily what my character would do. And I have to keep reminding myself of that, because me the character, it's because the character that I am playing is making very different choices to what me the human would do in this situation. Replace Gale for her? Nice. So what's your kind of travelling party at the moment, Tess? Because I know you're playing a wizard. Or did you fix that? I think I got it first. Giant unbelievable. Oh, Andy. That was a big compliment. Oh, F4 of every encounter on Shadowheart versus her casts. Yeah, the percentages can be a bit frustrating. Like 96% misses, 3 attacks, miss. Like what the hey? Can you not? Let's do this bit first. Now I basically went through the entirety of 2 maps and started Act 2. So I got huge story progress yesterday. It just completely drew me in, and every time I think I kind of have a handle on what's going on, there's a curveball, and I'm like, game, please. My character keeps going, I haven't got a moment to catch my breath, and I genuinely feel the same way as the player. It's just how the dice roll. Yeah, I got around that by taking lucky as a feat. Because I got so irritated with the dice just not being in my favor. I'm like, screw it, I'm now unnaturally lucky. Resistance to Shadowheart. Does that exist? I have no resistances to any of the characters, to be honest. The only one that kind of ticked me off initially was Will, but I learned more about him, and now I have no resistances. Sorry, a little bit quiet while I get this done. No, I am playing a character that is very different to what I normally would play. I normally play kind of the mum friend character. So, you know, kind of a fighter, usually cleric type. Kind of keeps the group from going too far down the let's murder and loot our way across the land kind of thing. I'm playing the complete opposite of that this time around. It's funny. It's funny, and it's kind of refreshing to cut loose a little bit and just be like, you know what? No. Why should I care that these random people that I've never met before are asking for my help? Shadowheart, Shadowburst, and Mycelium. Would she need to change her light to Lightheart? Maybe. It is like that, isn't it? The GM dice buff is unreal. Now, the thing that got me about Will early on in the is how judgy he was of everyone. And like, dude, you're a warlock. You are not good. You are not. Like, you've let this whole Blade of Frontiers thing go to your head a little bit too much, mate. You need to take it down a notch or two. I don't know, maybe because I'm also playing a warlock and I know the processes, I guess, of becoming a warlock and a warlock pact. Shadowheart abbreviated to Shat. No, that's fair. Oh my goodness. No, Will really irritated me initially because he was just so unnecessarily rude about other party members that I just left him on the bench. I'm like, no, you can stay in camp now. I don't care. Oh, you want to do this? I don't care. Learn some manners. You don't have to like everyone, but you can at least be civil and not make shitty comments. Rogues you play with be like, yes. Had it not been for this babysitter, I would have slaughtered you. Yeah, unfortunately, I went from being the babysitter to being the rogue. And I don't have a babysitter. my character's babysitter is a Starian who's there just like, yes, do it. Kick the puppies. Except don't kick the puppies. No, it's cool to play something very different to type. I will definitely do a less chaotic neutral playthrough at some point. But I'm having huge amounts of fun just being kind of a self-serving dick. And upsetting nearly everyone along the way. I love that the game isn't punishing me for it as well. The game is just like, no, this is a valid choice. Maybe not necessarily the most ideal one, but it's valid. Your characters have been okay with the start until your Devotion Paladin. Oh, interesting, Indy. Well, I mean, I've got a nature cleric that I've not really played a lot on. So she's like way back in the beginning. And she's like, I'm okay with you, but just don't do it again, okay? It's like, fine, okay, you know, you can't help what you are, but let's not, shall we? Whereas my warlock is just 100% the same personality as the Starian with less pretentious background. See, my character in this playthrough is more the kind of person who would give the baby a baseball bat and make it a steel bat. And then sit back. There are so many instances where it's just like I have to basically create a quick save point. Because I'm sat there like, should I? The game's giving me the option. Should I do it? Okay, I'm gonna quick save in case this goes horribly wrong. And then I do the morally questionable thing and I'm just cackling at the results. It's just nice to also be able to play a game with that level of freedom. Because so many games kind of give you half of that freedom, but they punish you for taking the morally questionable route. I don't feel like I'm being punished for being, at best, morally grey. I feel like the game is kind of just like, okay, this is the route you chosen. Fair enough. Let's see how this pans out. It's obviously not all going my way because you can't have it all your own way. But I don't feel like it's any harder than if I'd been nice the whole time. I'm gonna let that dry before I keep working on that. And I am gonna get another coat on this eye. Sipping a drink while a tiefling destroy the druid's grove. See, that's the interesting thing. My character actually ended up saving the druid's grove. Kind of by accident. Because my character didn't like being cool. For context, my character is half high elf. And we meet a specific... I'm not going to mention the character name because spoilers for people who haven't played this particular section. But we meet a particular character who does not like high elves due to their background. And through a sequence of unfortunate events that ended up on a bit of a unaliving spree for my party, which resulted in me accidentally saving the druids. So, yeah. But yeah, I am a lot of the time indie. I'm just like, I'm gonna just let this play out. Sit back and sip. The indie, I imagine you know which character I mean there. But for the sake of people who haven't played to that point, yeah, I'm not going to say which character that was. But if you've played past saving the Druid's Grove, like that whole scenario, you know which character I mean. Yeah. I've never met or never played a game that gives you that level of attention to detail, except Dungeons and Dragons. And that's kind of why I fell in love with it. Like, D&D has been a part of my life since I was 10. For context, that's 20 years. That's a long, long time. It shaped everything I know about gaming. So to have a game that is so good at replicating a tabletop experience is so amazing to me. It's so... I cannot really express how amazing that is to me. So yeah, Baldur's Gate. It's an incredible game. And much like any D&D campaign, there are parts that are incredibly frustrating. There are parts that are amazing. There are parts that are going to break your heart, and parts that will just make you cackle like a demented hyena. Like, it has taken me through the full gamut of emotions, and I'm barely even halfway. I'm not even halfway. I'm like a third of the way through the game. Make a character You really liking your friend save? You replicate scheduling conflicts too, right? It's amazing. Oh man. It feels so good to finally have that in a game. That whole experience. Because I loved sitting around a table with a bunch of friends, rolling dice for a few hours every Saturday, and just uncovering a story together. And that's what kind of what it felt like. We weren't necessarily. It felt like we were just finding the story. We weren't good guys, we weren't bad guys, we were just people in this world. And we were just a little part of a bigger ongoing story, and that's kind of what it feels like in Baldur's Gate. We are not the main characters. We are just the characters who have the camera perspective. I kind of love it. You know, it's not on us to make sure that the story continues, because the story is going to continue with or without us. All my thoughts about the end of Act 2. I'm nowhere near the end of Act 2 yet. Like like I said, I backtracked right to the beginning of Act 2 because I accidentally skipped every single side quest, and I'm so glad I did that. Because some of the quests in Act 2 are cool. Plus, there's a couple of people, like a couple of the companion quests, that I would have completely just not had if I'd stuck with my original attempt. Like, every single companion quest would have suffered for that. We have the moment with the D&D table. They missed out a boss. Oh. Oh, interesting. Well, once you figure it out, I guess your party's gonna find out. That's a very interesting mechanic to deal with. You'd dwarf missed Karlach's quest. No. I would have missed a big chunk of Karlach, a big chunk of Will's quest, a massive chunk of Halsin's quest, and also a as yet unknown how significant a portion of Astarion's quest. So I think the only companion I wouldn't have messed up is Gale. Potentially. Came up with a cool twist on the minibus that always shows up after you kill him. That is really cool. The haven't I killed you once already? Haven't I killed you before? Clause. I guess my only gripe is some of the puzzles are a little too hidden, I guess. The answers to some questions are a little too well hidden in Baldur's Gate. Now, it could just be me. Because I don't always have the clearest thought patterns. Puzzles are too puzzly, basically. That's my only gripe so far. But again, that could just be me. Because chronic exhaustion does not necessarily let you figure out complex word puzzles very well. And it's easy to miss things. But I'm okay with not getting everything the first time round. Because I do plan on playing this multiple times. As it stands, I've currently got a plan to play it with my warlock, with a nature cleric, and with another character with the Dark Urges background, which is a very specific kind of playthrough. Which may end up being another warlock, to be honest, because that seems to be working out for me. But it may end up being something else. I also have a multiplayer campaign planned, with, which I'm probably going to end up playing a bard in, because I really like the idea of playing a bard. And yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of variety, a lot of options. I do also want to try out Druid, because I love the idea of Druids. I love shape-shifting as a power, so I really want to try that out. There's times where you're kind of zoning out. See, the voice acting is too good for me to kind of... Like, the only time I really do that is when the villains are talking. It's like, oh, you're a bad guy. Okay. Oh, you're done talking. Cool. I'm gonna kill you now. Which is very fitting for my character, to be honest. But, you know, once you kind of settle on that kind of an attitude, it infects you a little bit. I'm sure there's some beautiful villain monologues that I've missed because my character has just been like, yeah, no, you die now. I don't like you. Okay. So all I'm doing here is adding a little bit of shading in for the expression. A bit of co-op and Azzy. I'm not a fan of spider shape, but that's an arachnophobic thing, not a mechanical thing. Like I said, it's really interesting how things are different when you don't play true to type. And it's created a lot of moments for me as a player that I know if I played it true to me, I would never have gotten. And some of them have been hilarious. Some have been heartbreaking. And some have just been a just impossible choice. So, it's been cool. Really, really cool experience. And honestly, every new development has impact, and that's so hard to achieve in a game. I'm just so impressed with the scope of everything. Arachnophobia? So much for the tolerant left. I can't help it. It's an irrational fear, I know. But hey, everyone's got one. If you think you don't have a phobia, it's because you haven't found it yet. Completely irrational. I could probably get over it, but like, give me the heebie-jeebies. I can't help it. The amount of therapy needed for me to get over it is just not worth anyone's time. Would you jump into car exams? Me personally? Yes. I think personality-wise, like me as the player, I adore Karlach. Halsin is also a great character who I'm very interested to know more about. And honestly, Gale is interesting. He's not what I thought he was initially. And it's been fun kind of uncovering all these different elements. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what happens when you play a tiefling and have that sort of those moments with Karlach. Lae'zel, yes and no. I like Lae'zel. I want to like Lae'zel a lot more than I actually do, and the reason I don't like Lae'zel is because she is so quick to judge someone for things that aren't their fault. For example, she really didn't like my character because I was half high elf. That was it. So I started on a bad foot with her, purely for an accident of being born half high elf. And that sort of stuff bugs me no end. And I get why it's in there, and I have seen enough of her story to understand it, but I find it hard to forgive. And again, I'm being very careful with my word choices there because I could elaborate, but spoilers. And this is definitely the kind of game you don't want spoiled for you. We live in this society. We do. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I think Lae'zel has a lot of character growth. But at the same time, it's hard to get past that whole... You're judging me literally just because of the race I am. Like, you're making so many assumptions about me because of that. That's not cool. And again, it's partly why I had a hard time with Shadowheart as well, because of her reaction to Lae'zel. It's like, oh, you're with a Gith. I'm like, yeah, and? I know what they are. Me the player knows what they are, my character doesn't. But it, like, instantly got me off to a bad start with both of those characters, because it's like, just, that's so dumb. It's such a dumb thing. You got dragons and things that fly and people that teleport when they sneeze wrong because they got cursed by some random hag 300 years ago. Like, why are you worried because she's got green skin and the other one's got, you know, less pointy ears than you? Like, seriously? Haven't you got bigger things to worry about right now? And I get it. I get the meta reasons. I get the point being made. That doesn't mean I can't still be angry about it. But again, it's part of why I love D&D, because it does bring those sorts of things out into the open to be examined in a different context. And sometimes that's how you learn about yourself or the world around you. And I do credit D&D for a lot of my early development in that sort of regard of just learning how to get along with different people. Because you can't just stab a guy because he's dragonborn. That doesn't end well. Even if it's got character motivation behind it. Character motivation is not justification. As a rogue in my party learned very early on in one of our campaigns. Again, I am trying very hard not to give away too much about stories and plot lines, so if I'm a little sketchy or a little vague about some things, it's because I'm steering it away from plot relevant stuff. Partly because even if you're past the point that I'm at, what you got out of those characters might be completely different to me. So I'm speaking in very broad terms. And about things that you encounter in the first, like if I get specific, it's because you encounter it super early on and there's not really a chance to avoid it. Very well, thank you, Indy. I'm trying my best. That's the thing, I would be so upset if I was playing through and someone spoiled big plot points for me. But I don't think it's a spoiler to say, like, there are outcomes that are both surprising and expected for every single scenario. Some will be more dramatic than others. And I just love that you're not forced to being the good guy. You know, you get agency. You don't have to be the good guy. You don't have to be the hero that saves everyone. Which, I don't know. It's rare to see in a game, and it's nice to get that option. It's nice to be the one to be able to say, hey, maybe we don't save everyone, guys. Maybe we just walk away. I know, maybe that's the burnout talking. Maybe it's the customer service burnout. It's just like, yep, no, I see you're having a bad time. Yeah, that must really suck for you. Oh, you wanted me to help. Oh, well, that's a shame. Bye. Kind of what my character is. Spoiler, it's a video game. Indie. Banned. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't ban you for that. Spoiler alert, there are characters in this game. Yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine as well. Where it's like, you can choose the bad option, or the morally grey option, in some games. But Baldur's Gate 3 is the first one I have played where you are not actively punished for being morally grey. And what I mean by actively punished, I mean, like, you're not beaten down until you go down the good path anyway. You have consequences the same way you have consequences for being the good guy. Those consequences may or may not be good for you. It depends what other choices you've made so far. But you're not locked out of parts of the game. You're not forced into retconning that decision and being the good guy to, like, repair some part of the story that you screwed up. Like, you will have consequences, but they're not gonna break your game for you going down that route. It's the same in D&D. Like, you talk shit to the wrong guy, you're gonna get your face punched, but it's not necessarily gonna kill your character off. It's kind of that sort of deal. But even if you're an evil character, the good path makes more sense. Yeah. There are a lot of games that do that. There are a lot of games that are just like, oh, you're this morally great, like, or just outright evil person, but if you choose the evil pathway, you're gonna have a bad time, and it's basically asking to have a very short game. This game doesn't do that. It lets you explore that side. You know, what if I didn't save everyone? What if I let everyone save themselves? What then? And I love that. I love getting into that. And again, I'm coming from a background of very much being the one who says we have to save everyone. Saying we can't let them die because it's not right. So it's fun for me to explore that side. I will play the other pathways. But right now, I'm having a lot of fun exploring something that you don't often get the chance to explore in a game. I'm trying to work out. Alright. So I'm trying to move a bit down towards the neck area. It's kind of hard to work out what colours should be where. So I may end up having to come back and change this. But I think... oh, I'm not sure. I think these are red. I haven't been able to find the comic reference for this book. This model, even. Yeah, what if it really wasn't my problem? When's my true evil character happening? At some point, Indy. I know what you're referring to. I definitely intend to do that as well. But not yet. Because as I say, my character is not true evil. They're just kind of close to it. They're skirting that line between chaotic, neutral, and evil that is quite often blurry. And if you're into D&D, you'll know what I mean. But it's that line between where self-serving and outright evil kind of coexist. That's kind of where my character's treading. In Baldur's Gate terms, I've got the same background as Astarion, so my goals kind of align with them. As a character, not as a human. Again, I want to reiterate, me as a human being does not agree. But I am playing a character, and I have to keep reminding myself that the character would choose differently. But Stray Gods game, see, I really love the look of Stray Gods, but I am too fixated on Baldur's Gate right now to focus on any of the games fully, anyway. But I hope you're enjoying it. I really do, because Stray Gods looks like a phenomenal game. And I know there's some extremely talented voice actors in there. Those two red panels at the top are right. Looking at them now. Yeah, I'm doing the messy first attempt at these lines. They will get tidied extensively. Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on anything like that, Indy, because spoilers. So if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to mark out all the different areas for different colours. Oh my goodness. That made me jump. Thank you for the posture check, Indy. Oh, everyone is sitting comfortably. Don't forget to stretch. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Step away from the screen if you need a few minutes. I went to see if I could go find what comic book. Yeah, there's a lot of close but not quite with this. So I'm just kind of going off of what I know the best. And kind of... I'm getting it as close as I can without, you know, being a slave to specifics. And let's be fair, Deadpool has a lot of variation. Like you said, gorilla pool. So, you know, it's not the end of the world if it's not perfect. I'm just gonna get it as good as possible. I did try to find a reference. I couldn't find it. I found one very close one, which was on the cover of Deadpool number 39, which links into the original Sin comic, which I think is kind of where this idea initially came from, but it also kind of feels like they've blended multiple different elements from different eras together, which is totally fine. Like, I'm not judging, but makes it difficult to get it truly comic accurate. TM. Aww. Sorry, I'll have to turn that one down a little bit. It was louder than I was expecting. But thank you so much for the pasta check. I appreciate it. And I hope you're sitting comfortably. And I hope you remember to stretch and take breaks when you need them, because your body will thank you later. Don't make my mistake, kids. Thinking as someone who is now dealing with a chronic illness, take care of your body while it's... Don't take your health for granted. Okay. My significant, I can tell, is its swords look more like modern machetes. Yeah. I don't know. That could just be a restriction of the model itself as well. Because I know trying to print super slim things, like super slim katana handles, would be difficult. I don't know. It's all good. I'm having fun working it out. Plus, it kind of gives me a little bit of creative freedom here. It's like, well, I'm not sticking to a strict variant. It's an homage to all Deadpool variants. So, what do you mean? I'm mixing up X-Force and the 90s version. What do you mean? I'm blending in 3 different eras of Deadpool on one thing. This is a Deadpool tribute. To paraphrase Tenacious D there a little bit. Like the potential storytelling of his swords being something he stole? Yeah. Yeah, I like telling a story with my models a little bit. Yeah, his main suit was in the wash. What are you talking about? This is not the greatest pool in the world. I don't claim to be lore accurate in every turn. If I was, some of my my Warhammer models would look extremely different. That's why you'll see a lot of my painting videos will have, you know, something style, like, you know, Baldur's Gate 3 style cave bear. Inspired by that kind of thing. I'll do as good a job as I can. But I'm not going to sacrifice accuracy for a good looking model. Sorry, I'm not going to sacrifice a good looking model for accuracy, is what I meant to say. Got my words mixed up there. I'm going to prioritize making the model look good. I'm also always accurate because you can be really sure there isn't cohort marines. Exactly. Like, all other things aside, I love Pride Marines. I've seen so many gorgeous, you know, trans pride, gay pride, LGBTQ+ pride Marines. And they all look so good. All of them. I really want to do my own version of them, but I haven't yet found the inspiration. Although I do have a very strong temptation to do a lot of NB Pride Tyranids. Yeah, because Tyranids and because non-binary. Maybe next Pride Month that'll be my project. I know you don't have to wait for Pride, but I kind of like doing stuff like that. If you don't think the Marines are prideful, yeah. Do you really know the canon? Oh, I really know. I know exactly what you're talking about there. NB Pride Tyranids are kind of... I suppose they are in a way. I do want to do some a Pride series, and I'm not sure what yet. You see a lot of Pride Marines and Sisters of Battle, so I'm thinking maybe going along a different route with that. Not sure what yet. It's something I'm kind of contemplating in the background while I work on other things. Sorry I went quiet a little bit there. I'm kind of considering all of my painting options in terms of this here model in front of me. Why do you actually have such big hands to hold hands? Yeah. Space Marines just want hugs. I saw someone do a Hello Kitty Legion and that just made my day when I saw it. I cannot for the life of me remember the artist off the top of my head right now. But I love it. What you're working on right now goes fairly off. What is it you're working on, if you don't mind me asking? No, I have no problem with going off the script. There's a lot of satisfaction in getting something spot on, but it can be equally satisfying in doing something that's recognizable but completely inaccurate. Like, both are equally valid and can be equally great if done right. And it's like, I don't see either one as more skillful than the other either. I think it takes equal amounts of skill to do both. Because it is extremely hard to get something perfectly accurate to a fictional reference. But at the same time, it's very hard to get to not follow the script, but still get something recognizable out at the end of it. Hello Kitty would canonically outlast the Empire. Oh, I believe that the Imperium of Man will be taken down by that adorable little bastard. Jerry Han from Street Fighter. Oh, nice. Congratulations on the gold rank too. You have to identify what are the most important features either way. That's true. That's true. But yeah, I don't think either one is better, if that makes sense. I think it's equally good in different ways. This. Oh, why is so many of my paints dried out? Oh, no, wait. This one's savable. It's just the top bit that's dried out. That's good. We had a bout of warm weather recently, and it kind of wreaked havoc on some of my paints. So not my paint selection is not in the best condition right now. Because I can't really afford to replace a lot of them just yet. I need to wait until I have a bit more financial freedom. So I'm having to kind of make do with some paints. And I thought my Celestra Grey had given up, but luckily not. being able to have a character that can be broken down and still be rather the same character. Yes, exactly. Super. I do agree with you there. And again, I think that's one of the things that Deadpool excels at. His design is actually surprisingly simple. There are only really a handful of elements you have to get right, and everything else is kind of gravy on top. But from a design perspective, his character is fucking monumental. Because think of all the variations of Deadpool that you see. You know, different animals, different hero influences, different... You know, the X-Force one's a good example of just even different colour schemes. Even when you take all of his iconic colours away, he's still recognisable. It's truly impressive. Playing around can be really fun. Yeah. Everything you need is in a little coin in his chest. Yeah. It's just there. It's something that I am growing to appreciate the more I get into painting different minis. I spent a long time painting Warhammer basically, and tabletop minis. There's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. But I am learning more about which elements are the important ones from painting outside of the Warhammer range. Which I think is making me a better painter. I could be wrong, but I think it's making me better. Again, this is super messy. It'll get tidied up in a minute. I'm working more on making the paint itself sit evenly than making it sit neatly. Then I can let it dry while I consider my next move. Lazy makes you a better painter. I mean, yes, one of the best things I did in terms of improving my painting skills was to commit to doing these regular, once per week painting sessions. Where, for a couple of hours every week, I sit down and I paint, and I do nothing but paint and talk about painting. Or whatever else is on my mind. And it's been good in a lot of ways, but just from a pure technical standpoint, it was the best thing for my painting to start really rapidly improving. And I think in the, I don't know how many years? I think I've been doing these painting streams for like 3-4 years now. Yeah, it's made a real difference. Yeah, well, no. I will mainly talk about painting, but a lot of the time I end up getting sidetracked. Because I'm nothing if not distractible. my discipline is a finite source, so I choose to exercise it in other areas of my life. There's a fantastic little, I guess, what to call it, motto, mantra, comment I heard from actually a fitness model that I follow, and it stuck with me. It's just about applying your focus where it matters. Because it's true. But also, Baldur's Gate is just too good. It's too powerful. That's the problem. Baldur's Gate is just too dang powerful. But hey, that's starting to look kind of like a Deadpool, right? It's not my fault the Baldur's Gate did it. Exactly. It's not my fault I fell asleep at my desk last. I was up all night playing Baldur's Gate 3 again. Yes, I'll be using that excuse for the next year. What do you mean? Okay. We're back. Imagine the irony of cancelling a D&D session because you stayed up playing Baldur's Gate. Oh man. That's gonna happen. Someone somewhere is gonna have that experience. There's gonna be some poor forever GM who's just like, look, I just wanted to be the one who didn't have all the answers. TCO and I would never play it all night. No, I definitely haven't stayed up till like 1, 2, 3 in the morning playing that game. Couldn't possibly be me. I haven't logged nearly 80 plus hours on that game in under 2 weeks. Yep. Bearing in mind I have a full-time job as well as being streaming. And when I say full-time, I mean 40 hours a week kind of job. You quit anytime? Nah, that's a damn right lie. I'm not that much of a liar, Andy. They're stretching the truth, and that's a damn right lie. I fully admit I am addicted to this game. I think once my first playthrough is done, I will be less... I'll be a bit more normal about it. I don't want to say less obsessed, but I'll be a little bit calmer about it, I think. But because there is still so much of the game left for me, I am just like itching to get more. And just, I'm getting so much out of it right now. Because I talked about this a little bit at the beginning of stream, but I don't think many people were here. But I've been dealing with like some pretty heavy duty burnout for the better part of a couple of years. And I know everyone's kind of probably gone through it a bit, but I've also been going through it with gaming in general. I've just not wanted to game at all. Baldur's Gate is bringing back my love of gaming. It's bringing back my love of stories. It's helping me deal with burnout in a way that I did not anticipate. And I think that's part of why I'm enjoying it so much. Yeah, burnout sucks. And that's partly why I'm taking all of next week off. It's because I'm finally getting the chance to deal with it. Think of the character creation options. Smells like pure copium. I'm basically using Baldur's Gate to deal with my burnout. Is it how you're meant to deal with burnout? Probably not. Is it doing me a lot of good doing it anyway? Yes. Is it good for my physical health? Probably not. I should probably be getting more exercise and eating a bit better. Is a week of sitting and playing video games gonna really do horrific amounts of damage in the long run? 1 week out of 52 in a year? Maybe not. You know, there are no perfect choices. Ironically, something that Baldur's Gate also teaches you. Morning, Senku. Non-stop Baldur's Gate and coffee. No, I'm trying to be sensible. I'm making sure I get at least, I don't want to say 3 because I'm not waking up early enough to get breakfast some days, but at least 2 solid, reasonably nutritious meals a day. I'm trying to at least alternate between coffee, energy drinks, and water, so I'm at least getting some water. Standing up and walking around my room occasionally, usually because someone has said something or done something that has made me just want to walk away for a little bit. It's like, God damn it, character. Damn it all to the hells with you. Yeah, I'm doing the best I can, but at the same time, I'm not prioritizing anything except being completely self-indulgent over the next week. Because I just need a break. Like, folks who've known me a while or a long time know that I've kind of been through the ringer a bit, and I just need a minute. Because I haven't really had a chance to deal with anything, and any breaks that I've taken previously have been out of necessity. Because, you know, it's like I either take this or I end up seriously ill. This one, I don't have to take a break right now. I can keep going. But I'm recognizing that I shouldn't keep going right now. You know, you don't always have to keep persevering. Yeah, practicing what I preach. Mental care is self-care, yeah. Have I met Tilly? Of course not, Mango. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Oh no, my power naps. Maybe. Nah, I know I've pushed myself a bit too much recently. And when I say recently, I'm talking over the course of a couple of years. Of just kind of white knuckling it, I guess. Because I've just had too much to deal with. And too much change too quickly. But now it's kind of evened off a bit. I need to stop. And that's what I'm doing next week. I'm stopping, I am dealing, and then I'll be back at it. Plus, you know, the first game since picking up World of Warcraft in whenever it was, early 2000s. I legitimately, since I first started gaming, I have not enjoyed a game this much. The last game I was this interested in was World of Warcraft way back when. I didn't stop playing that game for 15 years. So when I tell you that I am enjoying Baldur's Gate, it is probably the biggest understatement I could make right now. It is so unbelievably good. And every single person involved in that game deserves all of the praise and all of the rewards they can possibly get out of it. And I wish them nothing but the best. Cleaning my room, but you're almost done? Nice. Nice, Mango. Cleaning your room's a good activity. It's always nice to just kind of have that space back. But yeah. I'm keen. I'm a little nervous about taking a break because, you know, my channel and stuff like that has not done well this year because I've just been struggling. I've been doing as much as I can, but it's been hard. Really, really hard. And I'm a little nervous about taking a self-indulgent break when, you know, I should really be putting more time into it. But at the same time, I need to take care of me too. So can always put more time in when I'm less less in need of a rest. I can't really think of a neat phrase to put it. Neat way to put it, even. I'm sure most of you will understand, and honestly, those who don't understand that, I envy you. I envy your ability to be blissfully ignorant. But yeah. I will still be uploading stuff. There's going to be some scheduled VODs going out over next week, so you're not going to be completely free of me just yet. But I'll be, yeah, I'll be basically unavailable most of next week. Apart from to a select few individuals. Mainly my partner. But for the most part, I'll be just resting, taking a break, playing Baldur's Gate. So anything groundbreaking or urgent, I'll still read it. I'll still read the messages, but I'll probably get back to you in a week. Just take care of yourself. Yes, basically. I had way too many people telling me that. So I finally did it. No more struggles, only cuddles. Yes. I need to finish this playthrough so I can get Carlac cuddles. Same thing happened to my friends at Baldur's Gate. It's a good game for it. It's a good game for it. Where does Star Wars lie on my fandom scale? A bit higher than casual. I would say I am a fan, but not an avid fan. Just a coincidence. Honestly, it's yes, well, no, it wasn't a coincidence actually. Baldur's Gate was the catalyst, because I was talking about it with my partner and how much I was enjoying it and all the things I was enjoying about it. Basically, just kind of my partner was being talked at about, like, oh my god, this game's amazing. She just kind of turns around to me and is just like, you know, I've not seen you this excited about a game in a while. And it just kind of hit me that, like, it was kind of that, like, aha moment of just realizing how long it had been since I'd done something like that for myself. And, you know, not turned it into content, not, you know, turned it into a thing. Just been purely selfish with it and just really enjoy it for my own sake, on my own terms. And what better way to do it than with a game that I honestly cannot get enough of. I've been burnt out, honestly. I needed something like this. I just didn't realize I needed it until I started playing Baldur's Gate 3. I've been watching Ahsoka. Yes I have. I love Ahsoka as a character. Put it this way, Sinku, I've watched Rebels, I've watched Clone Wars. I love both of them. Like, honestly, Clone Wars, the series, one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars media. So I was super keen when Ahsoka got announced. Super keen when I finished watching Rebels. Yeah, what about yourself? Are you watching Ahsoka? I hate them on a... Yeah, but that's the thing. Generally, I do too. And then I realized I'd been doing it to myself. Like, I'd monetized all of my hobbies. And I'd forgotten to take a minute and just do something for me that I didn't have to share with the world all the time. So... yeah. That's the thing. I will end up streaming Baldur's Gate 3. But unlike with a lot of games that I've been excited about recently, I'm not doing it right away. I'm playing it for myself first. Jealous that Baby K has a plush Loth cat. Oh, I do want one of the Loth cats. They're so cute. Owlbear plushie when though? Larian needs to get on the owlbear plushie route. And it's totally not just because I'm obsessed with owlbears. Only seen Rebels. Partners taking you through Clone Wars. Nice. Nice. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. No, I really, really enjoy Clone Wars. Like, Clone Wars and Rogue One. Probably my two favourite pieces of Star Wars media. That's 9 for 20. Yes. Look, all I'm saying, I will happily, freely shill for Larian, but if they send me a Owlbear plushie, there will be some sort of dark warlock pact involved there, is all I'm saying. You know, some warlocks get the cool book of spells, some get the sword. Me, I'll just get the Owlbear plushie, then I'm good. Okay. Imagine a giddy squeal. Oh, down India, because I know that it's not going to happen. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a dream to be like, hey, this is Larian Studios. We're gonna basically pay you to stream our games. You know, we'll pay you a living wage, so you don't ever have to work again. Just stream our games for us and promote us. I'd be like, yes, sign me the sign. Where do I sign? Don't get me wrong, I would love that. But I do have to face the unpleasant reality of the fact that I am not a full-time streamer. I do not have the numbers to attract the attention of a massive studio like Larian, especially following how successful Baldur's Gate 3 has been. So as much as I would love it, I know it's not going to happen. Because why would they pay me when they could pay someone with 10 times the number of followers to get 10 times the amount of benefit from it? But that's fine. Maybe one day. Seeing Jinxie and Kyle like in the same room. That's because we locked the door, ain't it? I'm having too much fun. Too much fun at the moment. I do want to play it on stream. I don't know when or what form that playthrough is going to take, but we'll see. And who knows, maybe one day Larian Studios will notice me. Second opinion on the choice I need to make on this. I know everyone's asleep. Oh no! I mean, you can try in the Discord if you're on there and you're able to share what you're working on. you can share in the pics, vids and links channel, and we got some lovely, helpful, creative types in there that I'm sure would be happy to help. Both off doing shenanigans, yes. No, I do want to play some co-op runs at some point. Because I think, again, the game's a very different experience when you've got other human players in there. And I do have a couple of co-op runs planned. But, much like with anything else, scheduling is a thing. I'd like to get like a chaotic crew playthrough done. There are a few people I would love to play through with, but we'll see if that ever happens. I'll admit part of that is my fault. I'll be honest, like, I'm not blaming the people that have asked me to co-op yet, because I'm just like, but I want to play my warlock. My warlock's doing cool things and I want to find out what happens. So a lot of that is my fault right now, and that's part of the reason why I need to kind of get some of this out of my system this week. Also, apologies if that me accidentally headbutting the mic sounded awful. My deepest apologies. I'm still getting used to this mic being where it is. Sign up. Who'd be top of your list? I mean, there are a couple of people that I've already said yes, I'm gonna co-op with. If we're talking like who'd be top of my list celebrity-wise, I would love to have the voice actor for Astarion in, because I've started watching his streams and he's hilarious. I'd love Ashley Johnson. I'd love to play a campaign with her, from Ashley Johnson from Critical Role, because she's got the like that mischievous streak that is so great to D&D with. I don't know, and then I think someone like completely removed from the D&D world, or actually no, Brendan Lee Mulligan. I take that back, Brendan Lee Mulligan, because he's a phenomenal DM but also a fantastic player. And again, he's got that kind of that twist of mischievous ingenuity that I think would be so good to watch in this game. Ashley, Laura, Marisha. Honestly, Ashley, Laura and Marisha, I would honestly rather just sit down and have like a really boozy lunch with, because I feel like that would be amazing. Oh no, Ashley would be great. Hell yeah, Brennan, yes. Like, don't get me wrong, I adore Matt Mercer. I think he's an absolute diamond of a human being, but in terms of playing at the same table, I would rather have Matt as the GM and Brennan as the player, because Matt's ability to storytell, it is just unbelievable. And the way he can just captivate the entire table with a couple of sentences. And don't get me wrong, again, Brennan is phenomenal. But I think there's just something in the way Matt delivers the lines that my brain just latches onto so much more. Whereas Brennan is a fantastic player as well. And he uses those GM skills, and he's got that sort of, not malicious, but like I said, just cheeky, mischievous, slightly audacious kind of thing going on that's just so fun to play with. And when I say play with, I mean be in the same party as. It can sometimes be infuriating, but it's so much fun. Drunk Laura Bay. Oh man. Honestly, the entire cast of Critical Role just seem like amazing people to know. Like, I would love to be in that circle. I know I'm not. I'm not gonna be all weird and parasocial about it. But if I ever got the chance, you know. I ever got the chance to start getting into the scene a bit more, I would take it. But I've just not had the opportunity. I think the format of Roll20 is much more focused on where the players want the story to go. It's a stylistic choice, like you're saying. I like Critical Role because it does acknowledge both the storytelling and the mechanics. Roll20 is more narrative in style. But like I said, I've played D&D for a very, very long time. With good GMs, bad GMs, narrative, crunch, mechanic heavy, like the whole 9 yards. I've played with a lot of different groups, a lot of different GMs, a lot of different characters, and a lot of different stories. There is no right or wrong. They're just different. Now, me personally, I like the story. I like playing the character. I don't like combat as much. That's just me. But I do think one of the underrated skills of Matt Mercer is that he makes combat interesting in a way that few GMs are able to do. And again, personal opinion. I know some people have very strong opinions about Matt Mercer as a DM. I don't necessarily agree or understand a lot of them. Because, yeah, I have a very high opinion of him. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. And I'm not going to say mine's any better or worse than anyone else. Was I statue of Brennan and Matt? No, I even I would hesitate. Like, even as much as I love the idea, that would be a little strange, I think. Having been on the receiving end of some unwanted parasocial interactions in the past, I wouldn't want to inflict that on people.
Yeah, combat should serve the narrative. I think Matt is very good at making combats serve the overall story. And again, not saying it, not making that as a value judgment, I'm just saying that as I think it's a skill that he has. I'm not saying it's better or worse than anyone else, because I'm not trying to compare them in that way. I'm just saying, if I wanted to be sat at the same table as one of them, I would want to be sat at the table with Brennan. Because Matt has the classic forever GM thing of, look, I'm normally the one with all the answers. I'm normally the one who has to decide what's going on, so I'm not doing it here. Whereas I feel like Brennan's less conscious of taking that role if his character ends up in it. And again, I understand both perspectives, but I am fully one of those people of, regardless of how either player feel, my character will act in the way that is true to the character's like motivations and background and things like that, which is partly why I'm having such a blast with Baldur's Gate, because it lets me do that. Alright, I think last little thing before I start wrapping up. There's someone with a full-size Smurf Marine? Damn. I mean, I live around the corner from Warhammer World, so have one within walking distance? But owning one... Actually, no, I know someone who owns one. Or at least did. I don't know if they still got it. I can't remember now. But yeah, I know someone who used to own a full-size Blood Angel. I don't know if they still got it. Let's sit with the canvas open. Oh my goodness. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 projects on this table, including, well, in addition to the one currently in my hand. All of them I kept on here because I'm like, I'm not 100% sure on this. It's the model equivalent of the stage you're at the moment, where they just kind of sit on your hobby desk for a while until you get too annoyed with them taking the space, and then finally put them away. Or end up taking them out back and respraying them and starting from scratch. Okay, so I'm just doing a little bit of tidy up on the basement. Base bit. I think I need to go back to bed. I'm messing up my words, something rotten today. Failing all the charisma checks. But yeah, just wanted to do a little bit of that because it's such a minor thing, but it was kind of bugging me. I had a little bit of light patchiness on there. DVD on the brain? No, I think it's funnily enough, it's finished lessons. Going back to bed is a weird way to say stop Baldur's Gate. Hey! Stop being right. Oh man. But yeah. You're right, but also hey. Yeah. I think we're gonna leave it there, because like I said, I'm gonna take my time with this one. But I'm kinda happy with how we've gotten started. Like, you know, from about this bit upwards is getting there. It's a big model. He's a whole lot of Gandalfs. Gandalf is the size of model that I normally paint. And yes, I kind of keep him on the table for size comparison. But also because it's a really cool model and it makes me smile when I see it. But yeah, Gandalf, the size that I normally paint. Deadpool. he is like, what, 5 Gandalfs tall? Getting called out. It's cool. I deserve to be called out because I'm being a bit of a goober about Baldur's Gate, but hey, we're allowed to enjoy something, right? I won't be back next week. A little bit of a change. Like I said at the beginning, I'm taking next week off. VODs will still be uploaded, but I won't be streaming until the middle, like the second week of September is when I'll be back. You'll keep an eye out on Twitter and on the Discord and all the usual places for the schedule. I also have Blue Sky now. If anyone's on Blue Sky, DM me on Discord, please. I want to see friendos. Because I want to get away from the Xbird app. Because, geez, that place is not safe for me anymore. They took away blocking and I'm not safe on that app anymore, so you'll also see less of me on Twitter, but that's a whole nother conversation that I'll get into at a later stage. They're talking about it, and I've noticed that some former blocks have been unblocked. And yeah, I want to get out, basically. But yeah, like I said, that's kind of another conversation that I'm not really prepared to have right now. But like I said, in terms of content, you'll still get stuff over on YouTube. There'll be this VOD. Hopefully the final Mandalorian VOD I'll be able to sort out next week. I'm still waiting for my glue to turn up so I can actually assemble the damn thing. After super glue apparently just didn't work. So I'm taking it to the next level with epoxy, and if that doesn't work, I'm just gonna blue tack it for the photos. To be perfectly honest with you all. But hopefully that'll come out soon. There's Expanse and there's a couple of other bits and pieces, I think. So you'll still have opportunities to get annoyed by me next week. But yes, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Please take care of yourselves. I'll maybe see you all at some points from the lurk next week. But I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now, folks.